Hello, guys, and welcome to the show. I'm not going to talk very long here about this, but I wanted to talk about Deutsche Bank for a little bit. Now, I'm going to get right to the point. Let's start the charts up right here. Let me just a sec. I'll expand the charts out. Deutsche Bank stocks have moved up, after the government has been looking at a merger between Commerzbank and Deutsche Bank, And it says German officials are said to have had high-level discussions about the possibility of merging Deutsche Bank with fellow lender Commerzbank. These two banks are failing institutions. Huge derivatives book, especially Deutsche Bank. This whole thing's a total mess. And personally, my opinion is that I think that this article is probably valid. My reason for thinking that is because if Deutsche Bank and Commerzbank go down, especially if Deutsche Bank goes down, imminently goes down, well, kiss your asses goodbye. It's as simple as that. And so I think that the German government is looking for a way to do a bailout and smooth it over so we can't see it. Instead of calling it a bailout, call it a merger. Oh, we're doing a merger. And then backdoor the bailout. Backdoor and bail out both of them, because they both need bailing out at the same time. Kill two birds with one stone. And this is the reason why I think that this article very well could be the real McCoy. In other words, that they're really going to do this merger between the two banks. But I was over here this morning and I took a look here at this episode here by Bix Weir, and he's talking about the same subject matter of Deutsche Bank and this bailout. I'm going to tell you what, Bix makes some good points in all of this about that it could be just a head fake, the whole thing. They could be just faking us out and just because they've never really. I don't think in either article. I think that this article right here by Business Insider, and also I think Bloomberg carried the story as well. I'm going to tell you what. I don't think that they've actually verified that this is true. It's just talk. And you know about talk. I mean, somebody said that Commerzbank is it's not really. I don't think it's been verified. Let me see. They say topics discussed in high levels talks. Let me get down here in the article. See if he can say anything about verifying that this is actually. See, it says here. It says Deutsche Bank declined to comment, and it says Commerzbank didn't immediately respond to inquiries. So we don't have any verification that this merger is actually going to take place. Bix makes some good points about this, so he could be right. But you know what? I'm going to tell you all and all about it all. If Bix is actually right about this, the German government, first off, outright bailout of Deutsche Bank is almost out of the question, because look at what they got going on in France right now, and then there's Italy and there's Spain and there's Greece. They all need bailouts. What a mess! And if they go and they bail out their own bank, it just ain't gonna fly, guys. So I'm seeing this as possibly a backdoor way of getting the money into Commerzbank and getting the money into Deutsche Bank. And that's why I think that it's probably true, but we're going to see very soon if this is actually a head fake and that this is not verified because this isn't going to happen. Like Bix says, there is that possibility, right? There's also the possibility that this actually could come to pass where they actually merge the two banks and then they backdoor bail out both of them. Kind of like a sneaky way of bailing out the system. I don't really see a third option for this. Without a bailout, Deutsche Bank's going down. And the only reason Deutsche Bank stock is going up today is because people think they're getting a bailout because of this story right here. This story right here is the sole reason why Deutsche Bank stock has been surging today. But I call it surging. It's not really surging. It hasn't even made it up to €8. It was like €7, and it made it up to higher €7, €7 and change so far. So we can't really call that a a surge in stock. It says stock surge. I wouldn't really call that a surge. Now, what else is going on in the world that I want to talk about right here is the IMF. The IMF says in their warning of a looming financial crisis. Well, you know, most of the other economists out there, most all the economists right now are in agreement that we're heading toward a recession. It's just that some of them say like 2024, 2022, and all this stuff. I don't know how on earth they think we're going to get to 2022 without this recession starting. But, okay, you know, they all agree that there's going to be a recession. So the IMF warning of a looming financial crisis and a recession is nothing unusual. But the part of this that I find unusual is the part that they're admitting that the world is woefully unprepared to handle it. And that's the scary part, guys. That's the scary part. Because interest rates are at historically low levels right now. Where are they going to go? In the negative territory? As Jim Willie likes to say, that's like a bank breathing through its not the right end. Anyway, so where are they going to go with interest rates? They're at what, 2.25 basis points, 2.25 2% plus 25 basis points. I mean, that's nowhere. That's historically low. Are they going to go down from there, or they're going to have to go into zero? And that means I have to get rid of cash. They are already trying. Last time I was at Walmart, I seen them setting up all these booths in the center of the store. And they got an employee at every booth to help the people learn how to go through a money cashless registers. Okay? Then they got their cash registers over here where they'll take cash. And they got one woman working over there, and she looks to me like she's about 85 years old, and she's so slow, and there's a big long line up behind her. Everybody wants to go through there because there's still quite a few people have cash, and meanwhile, they got about 100 employees helping the people to learn how to not use cash. The thing is I think, personally, my opinion on it, that if you go to the higher up and higher up within Walmart's offices when you hit the real actual decision makers who are employing these policies to teach people how to not use cash, these people are probably being trained. The bankers are probably behind the whole thing. They want to get us off cash. They want to get us to a cashless society because cash is the real biggest tool in the world that they use for money laundering and things like that. It's cash. It's not Bitcoin. It's not cryptocurrency. And, you know, I mean, the world's a mess right now. And he says the world is woefully unprepared to handle the next crisis. They got a $4.5 trillion balance sheet, the Fed. You know, I'm going to tell you what. An awful lot of people think that they can't take that balance sheet higher. Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. They're going to have to double it. They're going to have to triple it, their balance sheet. They're desperate right now. They're trying to whittle down on their balance sheet, $50 billion a month off of their balance sheet. It's absolute desperation. It says, a gathering economic storm. The International Monetary Fund is warning that another global recession looms on the horizon, even as governments and global institutions remain woefully unprepared for the next financial crisis. Well, the next financial crisis is going to be worse than anything they've ever seen. Worse than anything we've ever seen in our lifetimes. And yes, we're not prepared for it. Even the people that think they're prepared for it are not. This is going to be rough. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to maintain their jobs through this next financial crisis. And these are people that are in things where you have to have it, like grocery stores. If you're working at a grocery store, you're probably going to maintain your job because people have to eat, right? If you're working at a clothing store, though, you might lose your job because people can still wear their older clothes, and they don't have to have new clothes. Anything that's connected to an economy, a good economy, or an economy that's perking right along and doing good, those jobs will be lost, jobs that have to be connected to a good economy. If you want to understand what jobs will be kept, it's jobs that are connected to a bad economy. Jobs that have to, like a policeman, he'll probably keep his job. Or they might trim back the police force, but they won't get rid of it because they know the ramifications of not having a police force. So a policeman will probably keep his job. Whereas somebody else that has a job like maybe delivering pizzas, you know, he might be out of work because nobody has the money to buy pizzas anymore because that's a luxury food item. You know, and I mean, this is where we're going with this. I don't think we're heading to a Mad Max world, but I think we're heading to some hard times, guys. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.